Olly, thank you so much for joining us. You've got two fantastic payouts with your leverage funding, totaling about a little over $9,000. So, congratulations on that. That's an amazing accomplishment.
Thank you.
So, tell me, how fast did those payouts actually hit your account once you requested it?
Mm, a lot quicker than I thought. My first payout was on a Friday afternoon. So I hit my consistency, hit my daily target. Requested a payout at, I believe it was about 3:40. Obviously 24 hours working days. I was expecting kind of Monday, Tuesday, and by Sunday lunchtime, it was in my account. Second one again was a Sunday. So requested it at about 12 o'clock on a Sunday and woke up Monday morning with it in my account.
Okay, so both of them within 2 days.
Within 24 hours, pretty much.
Within
Yeah,
20
even on the weekends, you don't expect it to happen on a weekend. Yeah, within 24 hours, nice and easy, nice and quick.
We have like a 24-hour payout guarantee, and that's why you got paid out within 24 hours. We usually don't count like weekend days. However, like we still try to get 90% of the people paid out like within 24 hours, even if it's on a weekend, no matter if it's weekend or weekday. So that's our goal, and we clearly were successful at that with you.
Yeah, clearly worked.
And so, how long have you been trading for?
Probably about 4 years now.
Okay.
Very emotional roller coaster. Tried many different prop firms and failed miserably. Had a little break after about 2.5 years. Started up again about a year ago, and here we are.
Sure, absolutely. So this Sure Leverage Funding was the first prop firm that ever paid you out?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Have you ever tried to like request a payout from another prop firm and just got declined for, some bullshit reason?
Never got far enough to even request a payout.
Really? And so what stood out to you from Sure Leverage Funding for you to choose them as like the next prop firm?
So obviously I had tried two before and had a lot of issues with them. So done quite a bit of research on who I wanted my next prop firm to be. I wanted it to be the last, and I wanted to get to obviously the stage where I'm at now. So done a lot of research, read a lot of good things on Facebook, Instagram. One of my good pals is actually trading with you as well, and he said that he has had nothing but good things to say. So yeah, gave it a go. Admittedly, first account was obviously kind of getting used to the rules and everything. Did blow the first account. Came back with a different strategy, different mindset, and then yeah, here we are.
That's crazy. And so how much did you pay for the account where you got your $9,000 payout from?
I think after discount, it was 100K instant pro.
Sounds like a pretty good return on investment. £500 for $9,000
It's
in
two
payouts.
payouts of around about $5,000. Yeah,
Good
it's about
stuff.
10 times what I paid for the account over the
That's
course
amazing.
of 2 weeks.
And have you ever like reached out to our support? I know we have 24/7 support. Have you ever like reached out to them? How did you find that customer experience?
Spot on. Literally
Spot-
done it once where my Meta 5 wouldn't let me into my account. It just said invalid account. So obviously I messaged them and asked them. They got back to me within about 3 minutes, I think. Refreshed it 5 minutes later and I was back in.
Fantastic. Honestly, it's exactly what I want to hear.
Yeah, other than that, I haven't needed to. I've had no issues. Everything's been nice and smooth, so I haven't needed to use the support. But like I say, the once I did, it was, yeah, quite refreshing actually, because normally you get those live chats and it's the whole whirlwind of waiting hours to get a response from a human. But yeah, it was nice and easy. Nice
Yeah,
and
we try to
direct.
skip the whole robot AI part because I find it drives me crazy as opposed to just speaking to a real human right from the start.
Yeah, that's it.
You said you've had maybe negative experience with other prop firms. What are the differences between the other prop firms? How do you compare it to what the experience you've had with Sure Leverage Funding?
I think Sure Leverage definitely has the most realistic rules. The prop firms I've been with in the past are very, very tight on that. And they're tight on kind of news trading and all of this sort of stuff. So that's where I was losing accounts and obviously losing the money. It's a very, very realistic max drawdown and daily drawdown with SLF. I've got a 100K account. I've had a $5,000 payout and I'm still nowhere near my max drawdown because it's realistic. It's not setting you up to fail.
I totally agree. And so in the beginning, were you skeptical about choosing Sure Leverage Funding? And then after you got two payouts from Sure Leverage Funding, did that increase your confidence?
Massively. At the start, it was kind of not skeptical as such, but just worried that I was going to go back to where I was 2 years ago, buying a lot of accounts and blowing them within a couple of days. I've made myself rules, stuck to them, and then obviously got that first payout. And yeah, it felt real after it kind of hit my account because it had been 3 years waiting for that sort of moment. And then, yeah, lo and behold, it happened again a week later. And we're due for another one on Sunday.
Well, so what has changed in your trading strategy from like going from 4 years almost of inconsistency and not being able to like actually profit to being able to like get three consistent payouts? Like what has changed?
My mindset is the biggest thing. So I was getting easily influenced. You see all of the traders online, don't you, making
Yep.
thousands? And that was my mindset. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be able to do that. And then if I would hit a stop loss, I wouldn't think twice about re-entering. And that's where I was blowing my accounts. Now I've got strict rules that I set myself. They're written in front of me before I trade every day. They're on a piece of paper next to my computer screen. And I'll just stick to them. But the main thing I found with trading is it's not about your strategy. It's not about where you enter and where you exit. It's your mindset. Your mindset is the biggest thing that will let you down, because if you start revenge trading and emotional trading, it's where you're going to lose your money.
I totally agree with that. If a new trader comes in, okay, what kind of advice would you give this new trader regarding, what prop firm to choose, and also based on, your strategy or what has changed in your mentality?
I definitely wouldn't hesitate on talking to them about SLF. I think you've got great options with starter accounts. A friend of mine is actually getting into trading, and he bought a 5K account last week because he wasn't sure whether he wanted to try funded or whether he wanted to stick to his live. He's obviously on quite a small capital live, but wanted to try the funding side of things. And instantly, as soon as he said that, I thought, you've got to go SLF, give him a go sort of thing. Because like I said about realistic rules, he's very new to it. But it's you get a lot of leeway, even with the 5K accounts, to kind of, if you do slip up, you're not just going to get an email saying you've blown your account, that's that, you've wasted this amount of money. There's enough room for kind of wiggle room. 100%, I wouldn't go anywhere else now. And I wouldn't hesitate to recommend to anyone that asked me the question.
That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. And so if you had to describe sure leverage funding in one sentence, what would it be?
It's just quick, easy to use. It's like I could go on for ages about how I complain about these other prop firms. So that's 8 weeks of, concentrating on the accounts, and 8 weeks of no complaints and one message to the live team support and 10 grand in payouts. I mean, you can't really say anything bad about that, can you? When you think of it, 2 months work and 10,000 in payouts with no issues whatsoever.
Awesome. And I wanted to talk a little bit because I think that the prop firms in general, and tell me if you agree with me or not, but prop firms in general are a fantastic tool in order to like just grow and get to the next step without having to risk your own capital, aside from the fee that you have to pay in the beginning, but grow and get to the next step when it's actually done right by the company. And I think that a lot of people and a lot of different companies kind of ruin it for the prop firm image.
Yeah, 100%. If I could turn back time, I would have just come straight to SLF, because you do get in the mindset of sort of, there's no other way of trading with higher capital and earning more money unless you go with a funded nowadays. I have used 50% of my profits and put in a live account now. So I'm now trading obviously a live and a funded. And I wouldn't have been able to trade live with that amount of capital if it wasn't for my rules and having a decent prop firm behind me. It's very difficult. I think nowadays there's too many prop firms out there that are very tight on rules. I mean, I've had accounts closed and, I've looked into it and emailed support about it because my drawdown and max loss is way under where it needs to be. It's nowhere near it. And they've blocked my account. They couldn't give me a reason. They never came back to me. £500 doesn't sound a lot when you get 2 payouts of, $4,000, but it's a lot of money when you've blown that account and they can't give you a reason why. So
Absolutely.
it's a very, very big weight off my shoulders now that I've found a prop firm I can actually trust. And like I say, I won't be going anywhere else. If worst case scenario, if I do end up blowing this account, I wouldn't hesitate on buying another one. That's all.
Awesome. And so now you were able to take the profits that you've withdrawn from Sure Leverage Funding and actually start your own live account. I was curious, do you find that your trading is better on your own live account, or is it better with the prop firm Sure Leverage account? Because I've always felt like the rules and certain disciplines that we have in place actually help the traders become more consistent and profitable traders as opposed to hurting them. Have you noticed that your live account is less profitable than your Sure Leverage account, or are they equally the same?
Massively.
Really?
Yeah, massively. If I'm judging by average on my last 2 payouts, my 100K is earning circa 20K a month. My live is probably earning £800 a month. And that's on a 5K account, because it's almost like an emotional attachment. It's your money. It's your live money. And if
Mhm.
it all goes, you've lost that. You can't just get it back. Whereas with the funded, I know it sounds bad, but it's not your money at the end of the day, and you've got those rules to kind of keep you in check. If you open a live account, I could open a 2.5 lot size tomorrow and that account could be drained within 5 seconds. There's nothing stopping me from doing that. Whereas you've got, like you say, the rules that keep you in check with your funded. You know you're not risking more than 1%. You know you can't lose more than X amount a day. So you build a plan for it. Whereas with your live, there's no rules. You can do what you want. And yeah, I mean, I know people that have got very, very lucky with their trades and won massive amounts off a small capital, but you can't live like that, because you can lose it just as quick as you gain it. Personally, I much prefer trading on a funded account. It keeps you kind of in check, knowing that you've got those rules behind you, and that if you want to be profitable with it, you've got to stick to them. And like I
Absolutely.
say, with the two payouts I've had, makes me want to stick to those rules even more, because if I'm doing that every week, I obviously went for the weekly payouts plus 90%. So at the moment, I'm doing around about $4,800 a week,
That's
which I
good
wouldn't
stuff,
do
man.
on a live. Wouldn't ever get close to that on a live. But when you see that coming in, you don't want to break those rules. You don't want to get that dreaded email of, we regret to inform you your account's blown.
Dude, I'm honestly happy to hear everything. I'm happy to hear that your experience was positive. Happy to hear that you successfully achieved two payouts, $9,000 total, and you have a third one on the way. And I just could not be happier, considering that this is my company, that you've had such a positive experience. And I really appreciate your loyalty to us. And hopefully many more payouts to come in the future. And I hope you tell all your friends about us.
Yeah, it certainly is the best one I've been with, and I wouldn't hesitate on recommending it at all.
I really, really appreciate you coming on and sharing your experience with other traders so that hopefully they make a more informed decision and actually come with us, reliable, trusted. I appreciate your time, seriously.
Not a problem at all.